All right. Hey. Welcome back, guys. All right, so this is going to be a today's topic video. It is going to be for the 27th. And we shall see what we got on this, all right? The message for the 27th, we have a Six of Cups, soulmate energy coming in. We also have an Ace of Cups, somebody's in love. We have a King of Cups, holy smokes, and a Ten of Pentacles. Okay, everything here looks spectacular. Everything here, at least as it's playing out in a King of Cups mind, he is very much aware that he would like to return to this soulmate. She may look really good in gold, by the way. She could be wearing some, I don't know if it's like even though she's wearing a dress or like a skirt with a blouse, I'm actually picturing somebody who's got like a robe or something on. She may be a single parent. She may have a child, daughter, perhaps. Doesn't have to. It's just what we see here in the card. But this King of Cups is very aware that he's in love with her. He's sitting here and he's thinking about it. It's like, that's exactly the person I would want to have. It's exactly the person that I could see me having a family with. I don't know if he's seen her being like really particularly awesome with, maybe this is nieces, nephews, children. Heck, maybe she's a school teacher. Maybe he's just seen her like interact with, the little people of the world, children, the little kids are, if you can inspire them and, treat them like their own little people, he may really have fallen for her watching her interact with somebody younger. It almost seems like she's teaching this little girl about like flowers or how to, hold bouquets. This could be somebody who's in a wedding or something as well. There could be a wedding coming up. And this could be like one of the bridesmaids and like a flower girl or something. But it feels like this King of Cups has fallen for her. Now, this could be falling almost at first sight. I don't know what his relationship is to her yet, but he knows that's a soulmate. This King of Cups isn't messing around with his emotions. The fact that it's 10 of Pentacles, it's like he got a flash of the future when he looked at her. We have the Tower. Okay, so hang on. The Six of Cups can be a returning soulmate, and there may need to be a return because these two, I don't know if it's like he's never seen her in this light before, but this looks like they had a collapse of a connection once upon a time. That's not the greatest, to have had an opportunity to be with her and maybe something fell apart. And now it's like, I'd love to do that all over again. Seven of Wands. Okay, she may have blocked him. In this storyline, he definitely, I don't know if there was an ego collapse that has recently occurred, but it appears that we can see her on the defensive here. And I don't think that's her natural state. I think typically she would be very loving. Typically she would be very kind. Also, this almost looks like she's in like a Halloween costume that could be like a Celtic time period piece, like Celtic warrior woman or something. We have that could also be part of her heritage. Maybe she's drawn, I picture like a feminine who wears like a leather cuff with like brass studs in it or something, like different kind of jewelry. Again, we're looking more time period piece. The Two of Wands in the reverse, she basically wasn't playing. If he seemed indecisive, she was done with him. If there was anything that didn't seem like it was straightforward and certain, she was already out. She was already done. That's the best way I could say this, is it was on her terms that she was done with him. King of Cups, what's your response to that? Five of Swords sideways. He's like, yeah, things didn't go that well. I don't think he responded with any like meanness or anything in return, but I think he's like, I knew not to even push my luck. She was mad at me at the time, and I knew better. Sorry, it feels like a couple of these cards felt like they weren't shuffling very well. Is it fine? I don't know, it just felt like they were stuck together or something, like in a clump. We've got a Three of Wands in the reverse. We got the Death card upright. Uh, as far as she was concerned, she was done. And I think she did say that she was done with him. But here he is on the 27th saying, yeah, but here's the thing, I love her. I know she's done with me. She made that very clear. But I never said I was done with her. And in fact, I know more than ever. It's almost like he respects her for telling him off or something. Like there's this element where it's like, yeah, she had a reason she said all that to me. Remember the Tower was here. So I do think that he was aware. Maybe he did something fairly heinous that he said, I deserve to be called out for that. With the Wheel of Fortune, maybe she is exactly the warrior woman that he needed to meet. Somebody that would call him out when he needs to be called out. That Wheel of Fortune says, everything has changed here. Everything is like he made a change. It was time for him to change and he knew it. But it came only after she had walked away from him, told him off. And I do feel like she really told him off because this is like a Taylor Swift moment. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. There is no future here. We are done. I am pissed. Go away. I've blocked you. Like that's how I think this went. And that was the moment he's like, damn, she was spot on with telling me all that. But now's the moment when I change. And this is also me saying, but I love her. And I also know she's soft and sweet. And I also know she can, totally like tell me off. And I love her. It's weird how he fell more in love with her as she told him to go take a hike. That's what this looks like. It's like, that's exactly the kind of person I want to be with. Well, she doesn't want to be with you, though. Three of Pentacles and the Sun. In his mind, though, somehow, some way, this still has to work because this is his happiness. Somehow, some way, he has to still be with her because he's in love with her. Why do you think she had to tell you off? I'm sorry, I'm confused about that. Why do you say, yeah, she had to tell me off? Three of Swords in the reverse, 10 of Pentacles upright. She told me off so she wouldn't get heartbroken because she expected me to give equally. She told me point blank, I'm not setting myself up to get hurt. Anybody with me gives me all in, anything less than that, and I'm gone. So wait, were you not giving? The reason I brought up loyalty is because there's a dog on that 10 of Wands, Empress upright. I don't think loyalty, mark. I mean, honestly, that she's somebody she won't accept less. She expects everything. If you're going to be with someone like me, you treat me like an empress and you give me what an empress expects, which is everything. He knew that. But with the 10 of Wands sideways, he wasn't really done with a previous situation or a previous connection or just a previous like ghostly memory of something that was bothering him. And I almost think this could have been like, let's say we'll use this 10 of Wands and say burdens that he was carrying still. She may have said, if you're carrying guilt over something between you and another person, you need to shed that so you can be 100% like devoted to our connection. I'm not going to have you getting mopey and sad about things with other people and bring that. So I got to deal with that because it's like I'm dealing with your third party. I'm not saying it was even romance. Let's say third parties can be many things. And it's not that this is a third party card. I just keep thinking, where'd that guilt come from? And it's like she said, you get to feel however you want to feel, but I need you 100% with me. And if I'm not getting 100% with you, if you're still possibly feeling guilt or maybe he was still hurt over somebody else, she's like, then you're not really ready to be with me. I kind of think that this was pain or something that he hadn't healed from a previous connection. But it's so crazy because her telling him point blank, if you're still sad over somebody else, you definitely aren't ready to be with me. So I'm leaving. But I think that's the other reason he was like, that's spot on. That's exactly it. She's not wrong. But in that moment, he also was over somebody else and now just in love with her. Justice, Five of Swords. I don't know if in the moment he liked hearing it, but it was also like that was what he needed, was a reality check. I wasn't being fair with her. That's true. Maybe I wanted to argue with her in that moment, but she was spot on. It's almost like he knew better, but then it still took a minute for it to digest. And all this time, he's like, she's spot on. She was right. She had every right to tell me off. I don't think he liked it in the minute, though. This all feels like this already played out. But on the 27th is when he's sitting here going, she's my soulmate. She's a person I love. She's the one that I got to have a future with. She got really mad. She pushed me away. She told me I can't be with her if I'm not 100% there with her. I didn't like hearing it. I do think, did you fight with her? Page of Cups, yeah. Three of Cups in the reverse. Ace of Swords, yeah. As a matter of fact, he wants to say sorry for something because he might have, the real reason she may have walked away was because there could have been a hostility on his part. He wants to apologize for something because he's like, my action or reaction is where the real Ace of Swords came from, where she goes, I'm done. I don't know if he like tried to deny something but that wasn't true, or if he got fussy and irritated at her for calling him out on something and he was irritated. It never feels good to be called out, especially if it's true, but it almost feels like he's saying, I'm not cheating, or there is no third party. And it's like, but the ghostly memory of somebody that you keep thinking about is kind of like an energetic third party. I just feel like he sees that now and he wants to say that he's sorry for that. He did get pissed over that at one point, is what it says. And that's the other reason he's got to say sorry for it now. Okay, I would just say he's having some serious like moments of awakening, right? He sees this whole situation so differently. Whatever she called him out on, he's like, she wasn't wrong. And I actually, at this point, he's so like ready to, I think, just have her as his main focus. But let me double check that. On the 27th, are you saying that you're ready to be all in it to win it with her? We have Aries energy. We have the Chariot. Yes, because very bold, very like consistent. She could be an Aries. We saw her with a lot of red flowers around her before on that Six of Cups card. He may just love her in red. Maybe she looks fantastic in red. But she could have like strong leadership qualities to her. She could be very passionate, very brave. But he's like, when she tells me off, she's also, Aries is our little warrior, our little god of war. So possibly this also speaks of, she has no problem telling me off, but I also am brave enough to face her again. I definitely think that on the 27th, he's basically acknowledging that the words she spoke to him were spot on. She had every right to say it the way she said it. And at this point, he's ready to go face her no matter what. It's so weird because he's all jolly about this. He's like not even stressing. He's like, I can't wait to go talk to her. Nine of Cups. My greatest wish is to go talk to her, face her. With that Chariot, Cancerian energy. Queen of Pentacles. He thinks she's very reasonable. He believes she'll hear him out. He sees her as both somebody who stands up for her as an empress, but somebody who's giving like a Queen of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. He's like, I'm going to go ask for a brand new beginning. That's what I'm going to do. I can tell her unequivocally, like, you had every right to be pissed at me. You were spot on with what you said. So now that I have everything to offer you, and by the way, I'm in love with you, what do you say about this? Can we have this new beginning now? This isn't him saying like, okay, you're right about everything. Now can we just get going? And that's not it. Like he really, truly like digested what had happened And it's not even that he saw things her way. He saw things for what they were, and I think she had called it out. He's the one over here saying it was really unfair on my part to get irritated with her when she said you got to be in it to win it with me. If you're still broken over something else with that 10 of Wands sideways, you're not able to give me all of your attention. So you're not really with me unless you're really with me. I just feel like this is one of those stories where he's not even flinching away from any of that. He's totally fine with, yep, that was spot on. Page of Pentacles upright. He is willing to start fresh if she's willing to start fresh with him. Can I date you? Can I take you out on one more first date? Could we really start from the ground up? Is this going to work? I mean, this is what his plan is. The moon. I don't know. The moon is oftentimes what's hidden. But we add in that archery, that like bullseye. We have the Fool. Maybe this is saying whether or not he knows it, this is exactly the only way he could have gotten a second chance with her. He had to be all in. He had to be not with an ego. He had to come in and just say, I'm here. I'm completely certain. I'm not still clinging to the memory of anybody else that I'm still broken up over. I'm 100% like focused on you. This might have been the thing that he didn't realize he needed to bring to the table. And now he's bringing it simply because he wants to. He's bringing his full focus now. But that could be the winning strategy here. And he doesn't even realize that's the only way that this could have worked. All right, we're going to leave that here. And let's go to a birthday message for somebody whose birthday is the 27th. We have a 3 of Wands. We have a Hierophant. Let me get one last one here. I like to do 3. 3 of Wands is about the future. Hierophant can be marriage. It can also be somebody connecting really well to their higher self. And we have the Death card as well. So big changes on the horizon. A rebirth. This future holds something beautiful for a character, something that they really want, something that they believe in. It's time for a change, or it's time for a sense of like rebirth or freedom. If there is a character who is thinking about having like renewing vows with somebody, their vows, they may add some new sentences into those vows. If this is somebody who's thinking about reconnecting with a partner, or they're thinking about giving marriage another try somewhere down the road in the future, this next marriage will be very different. This says we could stay with the same partner but have some wonderful changes, or really fall in love all over again. That's really nice to see. All right, you guys, I want to leave this one here. Thank you so much for being with me. It's great to be back. I'll be still unpacking, but it's nice to be here. Bye, guys.